Hi guys, welcome back to Tom Talks. And today we've got another football video. For those wanting music content, that will be coming soon. But for those who are here for the football, we're here to talk about the last couple of WSL games, predominantly for Manchester United, but overall a preview to what's to come. And we'll talk a bit about England. And of course, we'll be talking a bit about the book situation, if you know what I mean. But let's get into it. Man United have played 2 games since we last spoke. They beat Brighton 3-2. Very good attacking performance. Very nervy defensive performance. I was really worried we were going to let it slip, but we won. And Brighton is a decent team, so I'm not going to complain. Lizzie Turden back on the score sheet, which we love to see. Another great Jess Park goal, set up by Heather Toon. And then Jess Park sets up Lisa Knowles, and after Fran Kirby had scored, Maya Letitia makes a very rare defensive error, and Brighton get back into it through CK. But we hold on and we win. And I looked at this performance and I went, okay, we had a bit of an off day at the back. We got the win. It's a decent side. Let's move on. But we lost to Villa at home, thanks to Mira Taylor's goal. And I've got to say, fair play to Villa. They stopped us playing. Obviously, Heather Toon probably should have scored, but it was blocked on the line. But we did have other chances in the game. It's just a really poor performance. United were not at the races, and considering that Chelsea dropped points, it was a huge opportunity to go top of the league that we missed. Of course, Manchester City are now top of the league. We'll get into that in a bit. This performance against Villa was something I would have expected last season, where United, not quite at the races, don't know how to break a team down, and they lose. Obviously disappointed that the unbeaten run is over, but the fact that we have lost and haven't scored against a Villa team who, Villa has got decent players, but we should be beating Villa, especially at home. We've conceded 3 goals in the last 2 games as well. And the Villa goal, it's a good effort. Probably should have closed it down a bit better. It's not the effort I'm too worried about. The Brighton game, those goals are a bit more concerning. I think the ease we let Fran Kirby score, the mistake from Maya for the second goal, that is concerning. And I'm interested to see how we respond, because we have got a really tricky few fixtures coming up before another international break. To summarise, Fallon, Tullis Joyce has done her job, to be fair. It's not really her fault. Defensively, I think Jade Riviere has at times struggled a little bit. She's been fine. I think we did miss Anna Sandberg against Villa, and obviously she came off the bench, but we did definitely miss her. The defensively, I don't think the centre-backs were too bad against Villa. In the midfield, Heather Toon didn't have a great game against Villa, I've got to say. She was quite wayward with some of her chances. Lizzie Turden and Mallard are struggling a bit up front, I've got to say. And I did say that last time, but it is costing us games now. So, and Jess Park didn't have a great game against Villa, and that completely wrote us off attackingly. Lisa Knowles, nice for her to score against Brighton, and I think she got a start in the Villa game, and I think that was fair enough. The manager did make changes, and maybe that unsettled things a bit. Rachel Williams actually came off the bench and had some sort of an impact, but again, we really do need a proper backup striker, really, because Rachel Williams is not the same player that she was a couple of years ago. So, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest. And looking ahead, we've got a really difficult run of fixtures. We've got PSG at home, we've got Man City away, and then Wolfsburg away. Now, PSG at home is going to be a difficult game. Obviously, I think this is the game I'm most confident in us winning. I think as well, being at Old Trafford, I think will probably give a boost. And yeah, Man City away. I'm not totally convinced by this City side. I know they are top, but there is an opportunity there, and I think at most we should be getting a draw from that game. And then Wolfsburg away. Wolfsburg are a great team. That's going to be a difficult one. If we were to lose that game, I wouldn't be mad. Obviously, I want us to get something from that game, but like Wolfsburg are a very good team. And realistically, in the Champions League, we've played two decent but not amazing teams so far. So this is going to be a real test for this squad, these next three games, and it could have a big impact on the season, in my opinion. So that's Man United, really. Bit disappointed about how we've been playing. Bit nervous about these next few games, but crossing my fingers. Look at the table now. Man City are top. They beat West Ham 1-0 and they beat Everton 2-1. They're getting the job done. They're getting results. And that's what you need to do. So fair play to City. You know, Fajino, Miedemar, Kadji, Buddy Shaw are getting on the score sheet. Defensively, they're looking pretty solid. They're getting the job done. Chelsea have dropped to second. They beat London City 2-0. They drew with Arsenal, though. And I have said this Chelsea team is beatable. They haven't lost yet. But it'll be very interesting to see how things go on as the season goes on. But in all fairness, I will say this Chelsea team is still missing a lot of players. You know, Sam Kerr is only just coming back into the team. They're missing like Lauren James. Lucy Bronze is only just coming back into the team. So we'll see, but they're still unbeaten. So, and that's what you want. And they're only a point off City, so it's not the end of the world. We're third. We're 4 points off first. Again, we missed a big opportunity. It is what it is. Arsenal are up to fourth now. Battered Leicester 4-1. Alessia Russo scored. She also scored the equaliser against Chelsea. Blackstenius has picked up a few goals and assists. Arsenal are starting to come into their own a bit now. And I think United do need to be careful. Because while we are looking up, we also need to be looking down. Because Arsenal, once they find their gear with the quality they have in attack, they could quite easily overtake us. Spurs are also on 15 points in fifth. They beat Liverpool 2-1. Beth England with the winning goal there, job done result. But they lost to the team just below them in the table, London City, who beat them 4-2 with Godfrey scoring 2 goals and an assist. London City are doing kind of what I expected them to do. And that's a great result to get against Spurs. Spurs have had a really good start to the season. So, great result for London City. And, outside of the big teams, they're getting results. Villa are in 7th on 10 points. They'll be disappointed they didn't get the job done against Everton in that 3-3 draw where Mullet grabbed a goal and assist. But they beat United, and that's a really good result for Villa. So they'll be happy with that. They've hit double figures on points. Brighton are in 8th. Only managed to draw with Liverpool, which I think they'll be a bit disappointed by. I don't think Brighton have been amazing this season, but I think they're good enough that they won't be involved in the relegation battle. Leicester in 9th managed to pick up a point against West Ham. Very late goal. Decent point for Leicester, but they got battered by Arsenal. They will just need to keep picking up points against the lesser sides. Everton, I think, will be gutted to have only got a point from that Villa game. They gave City a bit of a test as well, but, you know, Gago grabbed 2 goals. Fernandes got 2 assists. You know, they're starting to show a bit of something at Everton. And it's given me a bit more confidence about them. And then, of course, Liverpool and West Ham both picked up their first points, but from winning positions, which I think will be very disappointing and frustrating for them, because picking up your first win would have been amazing for those teams, but they just couldn't do it. But they've both got a point on the board. It's something. So at this point, City, Chelsea and United are in the title race. Arsenal, I think, are potentially putting themselves in the question there. Spurs, I mean, I think Spurs will drop result points against bigger teams. London City, Villa, Brighton will be best of the rest, along with Spurs. And then I think that bottom 4 of Leicester, Everton, Liverpool and West Ham will be the teams that are fighting that battle. But I think it predominantly will be Liverpool and West Ham. Champions League, we're almost at the halfway stage now. So this coming week, we've got, as well as United, PSG, Lyon, Wolfsburg. Big test for Arsenal as they travel to Bayern, and Atletico Juve are the games to watch out for. And then the week after, you've got Wolfsburg United, Juventus Lyon, Arsenal Real Madrid, PSG Bayern, and Chelsea Barcelona. What a big game that is for Chelsea, especially as they drop points against FC20 on opening day. A real chance for them to put a marker down when it comes to this Champions League, because Barcelona wiped the floor with them in the semi-finals last year. It was, they did a number on them. So some very interesting games there, particularly for United, of course. And the League Cup will also be coming to an end as well. The group stages, and United fans can find out who will be playing in the quarterfinals and who will be going through. We'll quickly touch on England. You know, 2 friendlies. There was a lot of talk about Maya Le Tissier. She got her start at right back, got moved to centre back, and then started at centre back, and we keep a clean sheet. So I think that speaks for itself, really. With us 2-1 to Brazil, Kiara Keating wasn't great in goal, to be honest. That defensive duo of Jess Carter and Esme Morgan didn't work. And I think Serena has clocked now that Maya needs to be in that defence, especially when you've not got Leah Williamson, and especially that Minnie Bright has retired. So that proved that. And then we beat Australia 3-0. Comfortable victory. Aggie Beaver-Jones set up by Bronze. Bronze set up by Toon. Georgia Stanway with a penalty, having scored a penalty in the Brazil game. Job done. Good result against a decent team. Can't complain. The big thing is Hannah Hampton is going to be the number 1, I think, for the foreseeable future. Maya Le Tissier has to be playing alongside Leah Williamson at centre-back. I think there's an argument to be made that Beaver-Jones should be starting ahead of Russo, because Russo is struggling for England. The right-back situation, I think when Bronze is not there, is a bit worrying. I wonder when Jess Parks is going to get given a shot, because she's been really great for Manchester United this season. She's our second highest goal scorer in the league with 4 goals. So, you know. And we'll quickly touch on the hot topic. Mary Earps' book. To summarise, I read the whole book. I've seen bits of it. So, in the words of the person, I don't know the full picture. I don't know what Hannah Hampton did to get suspended from the squad and then brought back in. I don't think Mary Earps likes Hannah Hampton. That is the long and short of it, really. And I don't know what Hannah Hampton did, so I can't comment. But based on form, Hannah Hampton should have been England's #1 at the last tournament, and she kind of proved it because, you know, she was one of the best players at the tournament and she helped us win the trophy. She's just been voted the best goalie in the world. Mary Earps was second. I don't agree with that. I think Anna Catherine Berger should have been ahead of her, but I'm not a player, so that's not down to me. But I don't think we needed to know about this, especially as, you know, these are players who are still playing. I mean, Mary Earps is never going to play for England again because she's retired, I suppose. So, but I don't see what's to gain from this outside of, oh, I don't like you. I don't think you should have been the goalkeeper who helped us win the Euros. It should have been me. But Mary Earps, you've not been great since that World Cup final. You weren't particularly great for United, which is why Fallon Tunnage-Joyce is why we rate her so highly, because you weren't doing great. You've not been great for PSG. So, you know, it is what it is. But again, I don't know what Hannah Hampton did. And can't imagine it's that bad, though, if she was let back into the team. But who knows? This is all gossip. And I don't think it's necessary. And it's probably going to cause rifts and divisions and questions. And the fact that Mary Earps has kind of gone, oh, I didn't intend for this to happen. I mean, you probably knew what was going to happen when you wrote stuff like that down. So, I know about that. But that's all. We talked about Man United, the WSL, the coming fixtures, including the Champions League, the latest international break, and a little bit of Mary Earps stuff as well. Let me know in the comments. Are you a bit worried about United now, if you're a United fan? Do you think we can get through this difficult fixture period? Have I underestimated Man City a bit? Do you think that they have the potential to win the league? Do you think Chelsea is still the favourites? Do you think United still have a chance? Do you think Arsenal can get back in there? Who do you think is going to go through in the League Cup? And in terms of the Champions League, do you think United have a chance in these two very difficult games? Do you think they have a chance against City? And what do you think of the Mary Earps situation? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, folks, like, share, subscribe. This has been another Tom Talks.